Hello, welcome to the Redmen TV. We're doing a very special, exclusive, crazy, mad show involving a board and player faces. It's the Liverpool squad builder. Now, it needs a little bit of explanation, so bear with me for a moment and I will explain it to you in as simple terms as possible. Liverpool have to register a 25-man squad for each Premier League season. This is what we know. This is an established thing. It's always been this way since it was introduced, and it's going to be this way again this season. But because Liverpool have no European football, there was a great article written by Dan Kennett on Tompkins Times, and he looked back at the two most recent seasons in which this happened and established how many players were using that season. Now, I have these written down, so I'm going to get this right. In 2011-2012, Liverpool used a grand total of 24 players that season, and in 13-14, the season that will live long in infamy, we used only 22. So, what we're looking at, Liverpool have got masses of players on the books at the moment. Some are going to go out, some are going to stay, some are going to be with the under-21s, some are going to go out on loan, etc, etc. So we thought we'd try and work out a 25-man, just to beef it up a little bit and round it out nicely, 25 players that we think Jurgen Klopp will use in the coming season that will be eligible for Premier League, FA Cup and League Cup.
So just to I suppose, query it, can these players be used, can you use non-squad players for the Capital One Cup?
No. This is the idea that the total number of players that are going to be used across a maximum of 50 games, 40 games, say,
all
this
come
season.
from that. So
all
even
in
in 2011, 12 and 13, 14, we didn't use anyone outside of those squads.
That's what we're saying. The grand total of players that were used in that time was under 25 each time. We've edged it up to 25 for the sake of argument. Now, some of them were one appearance and two appearances. Yeah. So what we're going to do, we're going to do this in stages, basically. We're going to focus primarily on our senior players. We're going to stick within the Premier League rules, so there's got to be a minimum of 8 homegrown players, and there can only therefore be a maximum of 17 foreigners within this squad, and then we'll move on and we'll have a little bit of a look.
But again, we can go to 10 and 15 if we wanted.
Absolutely, you can put as many homegrown players in. You can have 25 homegrown players if you had them available to you. But in order for the squad to be valid, you've got to have the 8 homegrown. So that's what we'll do, and we'll start with that first.
Okay.
And you're going to be kind of doing this off the cuff.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested to see what your thoughts is. I had a little go with this myself, which is where this came from, but I want to see your thinking, and we'll talk it through as we go. So what we've got here is 8. We're going to put in our 8 absolutely necessary homegrown players first.
I'll have a homegrown, please.
You can have a homegrown, please. Yeah, go for it.
2, 3 from the top, 1 from the middle, and no, we're going to just go with them. I'm going to start with just grabbing the first 8 that I see, to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay.
El Capitan, Jordan Henderson, goes in there. I'm going to put John Flanagan in. I'm going to try and rank these a little bit, actually, in importance. I'm going to pop him up there. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to rank these in importance because they're all just quite important to me.
Okay.
So, right, this is where I suppose it gets a little bit tough, Paul. I've gone Jordan Henderson, Nathaniel Klein, Danny Ings, Adam Lallana, Daniel Sturridge, James Milner and John Flanagan. Okay. Which leaves me with Kevin Stewart.
Yep.
Could be a fairly important player for us. Joe Allen, who, if you were to just pick 8 players, you would go, well, he's probably the best of the available.
Sure.
Ward is out on loan.
Now
Can't be registered, can he?
Now we know Ward is out on loan, but he can be registered because if we want to play him, he needs to be registered.
We can't recall him.
We can recall him in January if we wanted to recall him because you can go window to window. Okay. So, or theoretically anyway, we put him in there. What we might need Ward to be, or we might need Bogdan to be, or whatever, is a placeholder for a third choice goalkeeper, for example.
So we got Andre Wisdom, again, he's made a comeback in the pre-season friendlies so far, and we've got young Brad Smith as well.
What's interesting about Brad Smith is last season he was an under-21, so he didn't need to be registered within the squad. He's also been at Liverpool for long enough to be classed as even though he's Australian, to be classed as a homegrown player.
3 years between 15 or is it?
And 21. Yeah.
So there you go. So I'm now at this point where, because I haven't done this, I'm going to go, they're nailed on for me.
Okay.
I would like to potentially, if this is okay with you, leave that 8th spot free. Sure. Start building the rest of the stuff and then see where we are. Okay. Because I don't know if Joe Allen's going to be here.
Bear in mind, we can just take people off as we go along as well.
Okay, well,
so right in here and right now, if you had to choose one of them to fill that 8th spot.
My gut's saying Stewart.
Kevin Stewart, and not so Joe Allen is not right here and now. Is not in Liverpool's squad for next season. Okay.
Oh, hang on a minute. No. Freaking hell, no. My gut is now telling me wisdom because we are short on centre backs.
Okay. I'm cool with that. So now what that will allow us to do is to fill the squad out with. We've got a maximum of 17 foreign players. Now, what you might find is we've got some space left over and we can come back to these players because, as we've said, we can have more than 8 homegrown. So, if you care to start populating the rest.
Now I understand why I've been asked to do this show. You got sore legs from yesterday, haven't you? He wants me to do all the bending down. Right.
Used to bending down.
Yeah. But not like this, more like with my tongue out. Ah, yes. Anyway, sorry about that, subscribers.
Sound. Keep going. That's fine. Yeah. It's not the subscribers I'm worried about. It's the people on YouTube that I want to worry about.
Oh yeah.
Phil Coutinho, first name on the foreigners team sheet. Firmino, Sadio Mane, Sam Mignolet. Okay. Joel Matip, Dejan Lovren, Alberto Moreno, Emre Can. Emre Can's another interesting one that last season didn't have to be registered because he was an under-21 player. Loris Karius, Mamadou Sakho.
And that right now leaves me with...
Okay. So, one way of making a note of there is Christian Benteke. Now, logically speaking, we know he's probably going to move to Crystal Palace. So, not really a great need to throw him in there, but maybe we'll see. Well, again, we'll see how the squad pans out.
So we've got Adam Bogdan, Thiago Ilori, Christian Benteke, Lucas Leiva, Mario, Luis Alberto.
Okay.
So there, I suppose, my guts to have.
Yeah.
It's quite easy now, I suppose, isn't it? You just got to... If Lucas is staying, Lucas goes in, doesn't he, I think.
So let's do that.
Alberto, no future. Balotelli, no future. Benteke doesn't seem likely. Ilori, no. Bogdan, no. Ilori.
So what we're going to do, we need to fill this squad up with what we've got.
Okay, well, on the basis of Andre Wisdom, I am going to go Ilori. I've only got 2 keepers though.
Yeah, we need a third goalkeeper.
But I can put him in regardless. So I'm going to put Ward in there.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm probably looking at something like that.
So that therefore leaves, without a hope in hell, leaves Bogdan, who again, yeah. Christian Benteke, who we know is likely to leave. Balotelli, who we know is not wanted. And Luis Alberto, which is an interesting one because there was talk that he might have had a little bit of a look in. The fact that he's not featured at all in the first 2 friendly games tells you what you want to do. So what I'd like you to do, Chris...
I feel like that was too easy, Paul. I feel like you've got something else staged for me.
Absolutely. So just before we move on to the clearly staged bit, can you throw these guys onto our leftovers board? Because what we're going to do, once we've gotten through the 25-man squad and we've established, we're going to leave ourselves with a leftovers list. And then from that leftovers list, we're going to decide who do we want to loan, who do we want to sell, and who are we going to keep out of those players, just to get a clear idea of what we think Liverpool are going to do between now and the transfer window shutting at the end of August. Brilliant. So if you want to go for that, right there. Okay, so what is obviously missing from this squad?
Is this a trick question?
This is not. It's no.
I think a backup left back, Joe Gomez. Yeah, a backup left back for me is definitely missing from that squad.
Yeah, in fact, I'll tell you what. So, but largely speaking, we filled it out. That wasn't too difficult.
No, I think it was a little bit easier than I expected. A
little bit easy. Right. Okay. So we know Liverpool, based on this system, are only going to use 25 players. Now,
U21S.
Here's our U21s. So here are the under-21 players that are within Liverpool's squad. Now, by the normal Premier League rules,
I get it.
We don't need to register any of these guys, but because we've no European football and we're not going to use more than 25 players,
yes.
If we want these guys to play, it's going to have to be at the expense of some of these guys.
I understand it now.
Okay.
So we're not picking the Premier League squad. We're saying which 25 players are Liverpool going to use this season.
Exactly. So, there we go. Fantastic, Chris.
Hey, I'm explaining it for everyone watching. You've briefed me before.
We're on the list, then, therefore, we have Cameron Brannigan. In fact, let's do it to this camera. Is that in shot? Perfect. Cameron Brannigan, Ovi Ajaria, Ben Woodburn, Divock Origi, Marco Grujic, Colin what's Randall's first name? Randall. Joe Gomez, SpongeBob. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Ryan Kent, Pedro Quirivella, and Shea Ojo.
Do you know who's confused on Randall? Me, because I say it wrong every single time. Every single time.
Incredible. So, Chris, just quickly looking at that list.
Yeah.
How many of those players, let's leave them in situ for now, how many of those players absolutely nailed on first teamers?
Minimum. First teamers, 4. 4 of those straight away I want to play this season.
Okay. So, and they are?
Divock Origi.
Leaving them in situ.
Divock Origi. Shea Ojo.
Yeah.
Joe Gomez and Marco Grujic.
Okay. Fantastic. So, and what we know from those as well is from those, Origi, even though we're not going to contravene any of the Premier League rules by introducing them, having the likes of Shea Ojo, who is an under-21, but a homegrown under-21 means that we could theoretically, what we've done is we've colour-coded these, so the guys with the orange stickers on are homegrown players, and the under-21s we've also added a green sticker to as well. So what we can never do is drop beneath 8 of the orange stickers players. So theoretically, if we wanted to take, we've got a lot of these guys in, so we should be okay. But we could theoretically, if we wanted to take out, let's say Milner for the sake of instance, and we only had 8 guys in, we couldn't swap him out for Origi if we were only at our 8 limit, but we could swap him out for a Shea Ojo, for example. So, okay, let's put this here for us. First player to go in, Divock Origi?
It's got to be Divock Origi.
Okay, so who are we binning off for Divock?
I'm going to start with Joe Allen.
Wow.
Because I think he's going to go.
You've gone deep on Joe Allen straight off the bat.
And I'm not even bent over.
Not even. So Joe's in our leftovers board right now. Okay, next man to go in.
I'm going to go, it's got to be oh no, do you know what? Grujic.
Okay. Marco Grujic impressed in his first appearance in a Liverpool shirt against Fleetwood. He's going into the first team squad. He is going into the first team squad. We made the case for his work permit. He has to go in. Who is coming out for him? Lucas Leiva.
Yeah, hard man.
Okay.
Flying by the seat of my pants here, like.
Okay, sound. Next up, Joe Gomez.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe Gomez is coming in at the expense of Thiago Ilori. Okay. I think that's a relatively easy decision made. Okay, sound. Okay. So Shea Ojo.
Wow.
Now we're getting a little bit more interesting. You've still got the likes of, we've still got the likes of Smith there. We've still got Stewart there.
Do you mind if I just rejig some of this positionally?
Is this because of OCD?
No, it's so that I can work out how many centre-backs and shit we've got without having to go 1.
Okay, if you feel
2,
that's...
3, 4, 5. See, 5 seems to be the right number.
Put them in on your instinct, and then what we can do is when we're finalising, we can work out whether there's any glaring need for more players here and there. Okay. So Andre Wisdom is in the leftover list. Right, from what you've seen so far in pre-season, of the young players that we've got left, so you're talking Cameron Brannigan. Now, he was playing football toward the end of last season, thought of very highly. You've got Randall. Okay. You've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, you've got Ryan Kent. Now, I think just from now, here's the thing. Seniority-wise and age-wise, you're looking probably at Brannigan, you're looking at Randall, and you're looking at Kent. I think we've seen enough to say Kirivea.
Not quite ready.
Probably not quite, again. Didn't make it into the second pre-season game. Look, he might well make it into the third or fourth or what have you. There's still time for him because Klopp does like him. Woodburn is very, very young. Ejaria, thereabouts, looked very good against Tranmere. Didn't quite have the same impact in the second game. What this is starting to come down to is, are there any of these guys here that you personally would like to see get some senior time? Because, you know, we've got the likes of, look, Kevin Stewart is not a young man anymore. He's of senior age. Brad Smith, as we know, is now of senior age. Do we need to work in some space here for these younger guys? They're only going to be playing 1 or 2 games, maybe.
I think we do, and it's going to be difficult at this stage who to take out. But I'm gonna do this first and foremost.
Okay.
I'm going to sort of rank them. So the 5 down there are the people that I'm not really... I don't think Randall's going to do it at Liverpool Football Club.
Okay.
I think if Flanagan stays fit, he's much better right back than Randall, which means he's third.
But that being said, I agree. But I think I'd say, even though Flanagan's clearly been given the push, he's been in the, as we've been defining, there's a sort of A team so far. I'd say Randall's probably, I think his performances have probably slightly edged it over Flanagan so far. So there's a case to be made there, and of course, obviously, people watching can by all means throw their own opinions into this. So yeah, you're talking. It's funny because we probably wouldn't have said Kent after the first game, but how, given his performance in the Fleetwood game, he definitely puts himself right back in there. Do we have? Here's my thoughts for what it's worth.
Okay.
We've got Ojo in there.
Yeah.
As our young attacking player.
Yeah.
Now Brannigan. Let me give you the poser.
Okay.
Do you get more out of Stewart in the squad or Brannigan in the squad?
I think you get more out of Stewart in the squad, only based on I've got rid of Lucas.
Yeah.
That otherwise, I think as a player, you're going to get more out of Brannigan, but as a deficiency in the squad, I've got rid of Lucas.
Sure.
Stewart feels like a better fit for covering that position if we need him to.
Cheaper, less ambition potentially. So are we gonna try and work Brannigan into the squad?
I would like to.
Okay.
I think it's someone that I think he's going to get game time this year. I think it's going to be in the League Cups and stuff, but I do think he's going to get game time, and I am open to suggestions as to where that is.
Now, I think the big one that you've not touched upon yet, Lazar Markovic is still there.
Yeah, I know.
You're happy to keep him?
No, I'm not. But if someone's going to get a chance, look, you know, we've talked already about, who was it? People not getting their opportunities in pre-season friendlies. The man must be here somewhere. Kirivea. Lazar Markovic has appeared in both of those games, which says to me that he is getting the opportunity. I thought he did all right in the second pre-season friendly, to be honest with you. I think Mane was much better, but I think he's a kid who's lacking a bit of confidence, and if he's played into a bit of form, I think he can maybe still do it. That's a little bit worrying.
That we're missing it. Yeah, I think that was just it. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I think I personally need to shape this squad a little bit in my head.
Okay.
Defenders, midfielders, all that type of stuff. So, I think you're right. I think if there is a glaring hole, it is Lazar. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's put him into leftovers.
Sweet. So Cameron Brannigan comes in.
Okay.
So, is there any outside shout for the likes of Alexander? And bearing in mind, we're not talking about, when we're getting towards the fringe of the 25, Liverpool again won't need that full 25. There's probably 3 or 4 or even 5 of those guys. They're only going to make 1 or 2 appearances throughout the whole season. Is there a shout there for working in one of Alexander-Arnold or Ovie Ejaria? Bearing in mind, the Alexander-Arnold, he's a local lad from West Derby. We want to look to start bedding another Scouser into the squad, maybe, now that Rossiter's gone?
Look, there is. I feel that it's more important to play your second string in League Cup games because they're not getting game time throughout the year and you don't know. Say, for example, a midfielder goes down. Do you care if Alexander-Arnold... Let's say a midfielder goes down a week after a League Cup game.
Yeah.
Right? And Alexander-Arnold played in the League Cup instead of your number 2 guy. And then this guy's now not fit. Alexander-Arnold isn't going to go into the Premier League first team, but you've sacrificed game time for your backup at the expense of giving your kid a chance. Now, that seems stupid to me because if someone gets injured, you need that fella to be as near to match fitness as possible. So it's important that the likes of Grujic, for example, or Stewart, if they're your second choice midfielders, are closer to fitness than Alexander-Arnold getting first team opportunities.
Okay, no, that's an interesting one. This is ultimately where the difficulty comes down for me, is because I've been, and again, it's only very early in pre-season, and we've got the option. We're not talking about, we don't have to get rid of these guys, but that's going to come in stage 2 of this show. Is that and it's again, a lot of it's just based on the instant excitement of seeing them. But I want there to be at least one lad in this who is an academy player who probably plays the vast majority of his time at the for the under 19s and under 21s. I think he's
because he was under 19s.
I think he's more senior than that. You see,
no.
Yeah, just based on because of what he played last season. I think because he's essentially taken Jordan Ives' place in this squad, and I played like 20 games last season. I could see him stepping up into that, maybe. It's interesting.
Yeah, the man off the bench type of thing.
Yeah, and it's that who just that one kid that again he's only going to play once or so. He might even be like 2 games from the end of the season. But who's that going to be? And that just to give him that little bit of a boost to kick his career or whatever. The trouble is, as you say, we're a little bit stuck.
I also think, though, look, we played a lot. I'd be interested to see how many people we played in the Premier League last season, because obviously it is skewed by the European football.
Last season, including Europa League, we played 34 players last season.
I think that is probably higher than in previous years because we've got to the end of the Europa League. It meant that we did this entire change of players, which you don't normally see. You might see Raheem Sterling coming in for a game at the end of the season, or Jordan Ibe for a couple of games at the end of the season. We were seeing 3, 4, 5 players on the pitch.
Well, on top of that as well, the injury crisis in January meant that we were forced to throw in, when we had Thiago Ilori playing centre-back in the FA Cup alongside Jose Enrique, etc. You know, you're dead right. Ryan Kent got one appearance in that first half of the FA Cup game. So yeah, that will be the reason why that number was
Whereas
so high.
Hopefully this season we'll be fighting for something at the end of the league, and it's not time to be thinking about your Alexander-Arnolds or your Ajarias, because we're fighting for the Premier League title, and that's not the time to bring the kid in.
Yeah, I think the way it's maybe we can.
And I wonder if that has something to do with the 13-14, why it was the lowest, because we had something to play for right up until the last.
Yeah. No, there's definitely that, and as well that the I think what we'll see, and as I say, I don't think we'll probably find ourselves using probably 22, 20 maybe, you know, or I tell you what.
Because you're never really going to see your backup keeper.
No, exactly.
Or 2 of your backup keepers, are you?
Absolutely.
If your keeper's fit.
So I think what's probably more than likely going to happen, because if you look at those lists, again, there's like 5 guys who played one or
decent burgers then.
1 or 2 appearances throughout the entire season. So they're not really, because the problem we've got is in your mentality is, part of the squad. Well, hang on, they're there just to make the numbers up. So what we should probably do actually to evolve this a touch is what you were saying a little bit earlier. What we should probably look at is saying, let's put our 16 or 17. Let's say 17 for the sake, because it's a nice neat to keep it in 2 rows. 17 most important first team players who we think are going to be in rotation for our absolute first team, and then we'll see what we've got in terms of the rest, and then it'll be easier to make a decision.
Okay.
You happy with that?
Yeah,
so it's probably not far off, but realistically we're looking at, there's our 8 nailed on homegrown. We've got Sacco, who's currently on the fringes.
Let me just. I think he's probably more important to the squad than Shea Ojo.
Okay. So Gomez moves into our
Oh, I was
first...
saying that. No, you know what? What you were saying was right before. He probably will take the eye position. And in that case, he'll probably have more performances than Gomez.
Sweet. So we're probably looking at Brannigan probably drops out because he's not going to play more than a handful of games.
Well, Karius has got to go into that.
Karius comes in there. Oh, but does he? Because, here's a question for you. Are we going to rotate the goalkeepers?
No.
So realistically, the 16 or 17 that we're most likely to play in a season, will that include two goalkeepers, or will it include the only one? So let's move him in. Yeah, let's move him in your layout. Sakho's got to come in. So Sakho's in the 17.
And then Origi's got to be the number 1 after that, hasn't he? Let me have a look. Well, hang on a minute. Who is more important here? Is it Sakho? Is it Origi? Let's say 18. There's your official cut-off.
Well, hang on. Let's see if we can do it in 17. Let's get Mignolet on there somewhere.
You can't with the homegrown, I don't think.
Put him in here. Well, let's find out. So, well, we don't need to worry about the homegrown now, realistically, do we? Because we've got our 25-man squad. We've got our 8 homegrown within the 25. Now that we're doing our first choice ones, we can put these in whenever we want. So what we're looking at is within our 17.
So really, that what you're saying now is Ojo can drop out of here.
Yeah, because Ojo's probably not going to play.
Okay, so should we do that then?
So let's put Ojo there. Let's put Origi in for him, and then we're looking at.
That's it. That's the 17.
Grujic.
I think Ojo's probably going to get more game time than Grujic.
You think?
Well, only you convinced me 5 minutes ago.
I'm asking the question.
He's taken over the Ibe thing.
Okay.
Grujic is coming in when there's when you're 2-0 ups and stuff, and that doesn't happen for us.
Who have we got there?
Brannigan.
Get him in there. So we're sort of ranking it. I mean, there'll be a loose ranking in and of that. So we're saying Karius is going to be the first choice goalkeeper, which is sound. Well, you know what? Let's make that a bit.
So then right backs maybe, or defenders next. So we can have a look at it as well.
Okay, I'm happy with that. So, Moreno?
I'll tell you what, I'll pull out defenders, mate.
Sure.
Okay, I've got 3.
Okay.
Defensive mind. Deep line midfielders next,
Deep line midfielders,
Chan, Hendo. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Attacking mids.
Any more centre mids? Milner? Origi, where's he?
I don't know.
There he is.
I'll put off Flano. Oh, fuck's sakes. Oh, well, he's not more important than Kleiny.
Sound, and Origi goes in, probably there for the sake of argument. So there we've got our 17
man
nailed on key players. So just let's look then at these. I think you're dead right, and then I think you've probably got ranking them in terms of importance or an order. These guys are going to play the bulk of the football, and then on the outskirts of the squad, Shea, Ojo, Grujic, Gomez, Brannigan, and then again we'll use Ward. We'll call him a place card because he could be Manninger or whomever the
actually thinking about it now and looking at the shape of the squad, Smith probably comes up here slightly, unless Gomez is going to be playing the left back up.
So we still don't know about Gomez, and I think Smith equally could be a new left back signing as well, theoretically within that. So okay, but yeah, I mean by all means we can rank him if needs be. Much of a muchness. So let's have a look then at what that means for us. Now that we've got this right here, and we know that realistically, from what we're saying, Brad Smith's not going to play a lot. Either one of Gomez or Smith is not going to play a lot of football this season.
Yeah, you're right.
Kev Stewart's not going to play a lot of football this season, nor is Brannigan. These guys are probably we're probably talking in the sub 5 to, well, definitely sub 10, probably 5 or 6 games out there that are out the whole season. Is there anyone based on that, therefore, from what we've said about the kids, that you think might be worth chucking in there?
Chucking in where?
In place of one of these guys, because ultimately they're not going to play that much football.
Yeah. I'm going to take out Kevin Stewart now at this point. I'm going to take him out because of his age.
Yeah.
And I think sub-5 performances when you're 22 years old isn't enough, and we do need this, and we maybe want this kid to develop.
Yeah.
So I think now it's time to... Are we still going on to the leftovers, bud?
Yeah, so we need to put everyone on... We've got left, who hasn't been put on the main board, onto the leftovers board. So do you want to transfer the under-21s as well?
But I've got a space.
Oh, yeah, who's going there? Kent, Alexander-Arnold, Ajaria.
I think it could be, at this point, Kent. What do you think?
Right here, I genuinely think it's between... I think it's between those three guys. And I think there are takers for Kent. So people are looking to get hold of him. There'll be people looking to buy him, there'll be people looking to loan him. I don't think anyone will be looking to loan Alexander-Arnold or Ajaria, so there's a case that you just keep them round in the under-21s, therefore, but therefore, they're there. From a personal perspective, and it's the scouts thing for me, it's the Alexander-Arnold thing. I think we would all be buoyed by him getting one appearance in the senior team, and if he's not in this squad, it means that doesn't happen next season at all, because we're not playing anyone. Our Liverpool doesn't play anyone outside of this squad. What do you think?
I think that...
If Kent only plays one senior game next season...
I think he could play League Cup games. But that's based on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's a 6th player for that. Because I think if you're playing 3, you need 6.
Okay.
And that means that he could get game time in League Cups and stuff. Of course, we could get knocked out of the Cups. And then it could just then be, of course, one appearance.
You could draw Man United in the second round of the League Cup.
You could get none. No appearances, because you wouldn't want to lose to them, would you?
Okay.
Who
would most excite you to see you come on out of those? Because I think Woodburn's a little young, as we've said, and then Randall's probably fair play, considering that we've got Flanagan and Kleiny in there.
I'll go with you. I'll go with Alexander-Arnold. Okay.
There you go, that was part 1. We've decided who our 25-man squad is. Now we get to work out which of the players that are left over are we sending out on loan, which of the players that we're selling, and which of the players that we feel need to be kept around Liverpool to develop under Klopp at the under-21s at the academy. Check out that show over on the redmentv.com. It's completely free for a month. You can check it out. You can try it out. There's 300 plus hours of completely exclusive content on there. Give it a whirl, see if you like it. If you don't like it, you can just cancel it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you over there for part 2.